Where I come from, we call them muggles. Hello, fellow film lovers and moviegoers. I'm the Red Hat Reviewer, and today I'm going to be talking about Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, directed by David Yates and starring Eddie Redmayne. But first, I have a confession to make. I'm not a real Harry Potter fan. I want to be. It's not that I don't enjoy the Wizarding World, it's just I never read the books. I still haven't, in fact. I hope that I actually do get to read the book someday. I promise it's on my to-do list, and that's all I mean as far as I'm not a fan and how I'm not worthy. There are loads and loads of other people who are much more well-versed in the knowledge of Harry Potter. That being said, I was still excited to see this film. I caught it in the movies just as Deathly Hallows came out, and I made sure that if I was ever to join the fandom, that was my last chance. And I found myself being enthralled and enchanted by this really magical world. So naturally, I'm expecting the same thing from Fantastic Beasts. And in some ways, that's what I got. And in others, it wasn't. First few things this movie needs: cool beasts, cool magic, cool world. The beasts were definitely interesting. It was really cool to see them in Newt Scamander's zoo inside of his suitcase. I tell you what, if that suitcase isn't a dead giveaway that J.K. Rowling isn't a Doctor Who fan, well, just imagine. Come on, she's British. The magic is still cool. It's familiar. Wands in Harry Potter are kind of like lightsabers in Star Wars. It's just cool to see them light up and to see the wizards and the witches flick their wrists and do tricks and show off with their magic. It's just fun. It's fun. The cast was always fun. Going back to my Doctor Who reference, Eddie Redmayne would make a great Doctor Who. I will say, though, Newt would not make a great Doctor Who, and that's not a criticism. Newt is very shy and awkward. He doesn't get along with people. He definitely gets along better with animals, which is the whole point. I gotta say, though, the guy who steals the show in this movie is Kowalski. Kowalski is the Muggle, or the No-Maj as they call them in the United States, who's unfortunately the first to see Newt Scamander's animals get loose from his suitcase. And all the other wizards are like, just obliviate him. Wipe his memory, and let's carry on and get these animals back. Whereas Newt, on the other hand, is more willing and, in fact, more partial to allowing Kowalski to join them in this adventure. And even though Kowalski has a few moments that make him the stereotypical bumbling sidekick, he has a very nice, sweet little backstory. The guy just wants to get a loan from the bank so that he can make a bakery shop, but that's all he wants to do, and it's just so... you want to hug the guy. But now that that's out of the way, I have unfortunate news. These are my critiques. Big thing that hurt Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was its plot, or rather, its plots. Fantastic Beasts has two competing plots, and it doesn't know which one it needs to be the main story. Certainly the plots intersect and eventually meet up at the end, but I felt like these two plots would have served better in a separate film, except they're all in one and they're competing for time, and because of that, no plot has time to shine. Secondly, because we've got two plots in the movie, I imagine the runtime risked going over 2.5 hours. Which brings me to my second critique. The editing in this film is really weird. There's continuity errors. Let's say we have two characters. They go to a door and they open it, and inside the room they see there's something they need to grab. One character opens the door, and then we cut inside the room. But then suddenly the second character is already in the room grabbing the thing. They skip the scene or the shot where we see them entering the room. So I imagine when they were editing this film, a lot of transition shots, a lot of in-between scenes were cut in order to save the runtime. But it makes the editing so jarring and so frustrating. Editing, it's important. And also, because we have these two plots running against one another, competing for screen time, the very thing that we came to see this movie for, The Fantastic Beasts, right there in the title, they get shortchanged. Wrapping things up, the magic is cool, the world is cool, seeing the Wizarding World in a 1920s setting in New York is a great direction for these films. The creatures, when you see them, are cool. Unfortunately, because we have two competing plots, the creatures don't get enough screen time and they don't get the limelight that they deserve, and for that reason, I'm gonna give Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 3 out of 6 thumbs up. Guys, thank you for watching. If you like this review, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, make sure to subscribe down below. You can also follow me on Twitter at JordanTQAt, and make sure to tip your hat to good movies. Expelliarmus. Fan life.